shop. I think it's about time to do some cruising and get some errands done. So I'm not going to be doing much wrenching on either one today. Now I got an update on the GMC, and I'll show that here momentarily. But I believe we're going to run some errands and get some cruising done. So stay tuned and hang around if you like. All right, before I put some primer on there, I wanted to show you how good a job Carl did on this here, finishing up this patch for me. He was a certified welder and moved on to other things in his later life, but he really does good work. I already know who I'm going to use to do some welding when I start doing some body panel patching. So anyway, we're going to put some primer on it now. All right, there she is. Be a whole lot more serviceable. Just 2 high instead of 3. And another thing, like the Chevy, it puts the top board level with the line in the cab. All right. There we go. That will stain them all. Well, you can see one of my upcoming chores, pressure washing and a dumper. Riding and cruising, a question hit me that I thought I'd ask out about you folks out there in YouTube land. It's got to do with the Beatles. You know, the Beatles, to me, they hit like two different genres, or two different eras. One was the early Beatles, you know, with their love songs and stuff like that. And the other was the later Beatles, before they split, where they were who I call the psychedelic Beatles, where they got, I mean, people still debate the meaning of a lot of the words in some of those psychedelic songs, Lucy in the Skies with Diamonds and all them others, you know. What's your favorite? I tend to like the early Beatles myself. I've been watching some of their live concerts on YouTube, and of course I was a kid when they hit, and so I was cognizant to music when they hit it big here in the States, and I can recall it, and maybe that's what, you know, forms my opinion on liking the early stuff. You know, I got some friends and cousins that calls it silly music, you know. I want to hold your hand and 8 days a week, you know. To me, that's good stuff. To them, it's silly. So I don't know. What do you think? What a beautiful day. Probably in the 70s already. It's not even noon yet. Oh, I've got some work lined up, coming up. Matter of fact, it's going to take me away from working on these trucks. Oh well, spring work. Well, all right. Part of my most favorite part of my cruise has got brand new pavement. Look at this here. Oh, me, is it smooth. Yes, sir. Isn't this nice? Right. Any of y'all into boats? My daughter and son-in-law, they sold their 18-foot pontoon and with a 50 horsepower engine, and they got them, I think it's a 20 or 22 foot pontoon with a 150 horse engine. Now they really like that one they originally had pretty good. But my two grandsons, they're big enough and old enough now to get pulled behind on skis and floats and such. Well, that little old 50 horsepower engine just wouldn't get them going good. So he started pricing upgrades, and believe it or not, it ended up being cheaper to sell his old boat and buy a new boat with a bigger engine than to just buy a bigger engine and sell his old engine. And that's something. So he's getting it detailed now, getting it ready for the upcoming season. Who knows, I may have some boating videos to pass along. maybe take a cruise on down there in this or the GMC and check it out. But boating's all right. I'm a landlubber, I guess. That's just the way I roll. Even though I lived a whole year of my life on a dadgum big boat. A big boat. Whoa, almost got that groundhog. He was a step fast enough. There you go. Anyway, lost my train of thought. I'm sure it was a good one. You know, one of them kind of things I talk about that's really good. But it's gone. Anyway. Oh, ran out of the new pavement, but this is nice. This is still nice and smooth. Cool beans. Here's a tech tip for the day. If you're going down the road, you start hearing rattling, especially when you're letting off the gas. And right now it should be rattling more. But it's actually kind of self-diagnosed to me. It's actually, I can tell that it's an exhaust leak. That donut has busted again. But what I can do is take this screwdriver. You hear that? Now you hear that? Now if I pull it far enough, it'll stop. And it'll actually start rattling. So I started hearing the rattling here towards the end of my cruise, and that donut's blown out again. I may have to come up with another way to seal that exhaust pipe to the manifold. I should have kept it idling when I first shut it up, but I shut it down and I wanted to start it back up just to show you all. But it was really rattling a lot worse than this. And it was, the whole pipe was resonating going all the way back to the back. So it was at first it was kind of hard to tell until I come up here and I pressed against that exhaust pipe. So anyway, there's something that needs done. And when you're troubleshooting, always start with the easiest. Never go deep, go easy first and work your way. And more than likely, it's the easy stuff. Well, once again, it was this front donut. It's never that back one, it's this front one. So I put a new, I ordered two, so I put a new donut on it, and it was crushed on one end. And where I guess I did a road tightening up of it, and that must have crushed it more after it loosened. So I put a couple of lock nuts on it this time, and I put another bracket on underneath. Actually, it's not a bracket, I meant to say a hanger. So I've got an additional hanger. So we've got a hanger there, we got a hanger just aft of the muffler, and we got a hanger on the other side of the axle. So I've got 3 hangers on this thing to try to secure it a little bit tighter, and hopefully that'll do it. Anyway, my steering gearbox has leaked out all that 80-90. I need to put some cornhead grease in there. That'll hold better. Matter of fact, I think it's about wallowed out the seal on it anyway, the seal and probably the bushing. So I think it's from getting additional play in the shaft. So anyway, that's something, one of the things I need to check further. But anyway, hopefully, and it's never the other. It's never the rear, pipe, and that's the one that does the crossover and goes down on the passenger side. It's this one here on the driver's side. So anyway, all right, here we are. I took it for a little run. It did pretty good. It only acted up once it got hot. Once everything expanded, that's when it would expand and get loose. So hopefully I've got it tight this time. We'll see, and we'll just know on another long run. But I believe that'll stick a fork in this little short episode. I've got some spring projects coming up that I've got to get done, and that's going to cut into my truck time. So I may not get any maintenance videos out for the next couple weeks to a month. I've got some B-roll kind of stuff where I've done some work around the place and worked on the Ford, and I may run them. I don't know. We'll see if I can get caught up. But when spring first comes around, I got a lot of stuff I got to get done outside. I got to pressure wash the whole house, the deck. Got to stain it, and that's when I'm going to stain the back of this too, of the GMC. Got my garden set out. Got a lot of stuff I need to do. Plus, right now, believe it or not, I'm mowing twice a week now. This grass is growing like crazy. Matter of fact, right now, this is the second week of April. It is 80 degrees. 80 degrees. Can you imagine that? That's something, huh? Anyway, so if after this, if you see a couple of untruck related videos, well, you'll know why. I just got too busy and I haven't been able to take care of my truck business. So other than cruising, I will be cruising, and you can only do but so many cruises, right? I've made so many cruise videos. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope all's going good with you and yours. Going good here. So we'll see you, and we'll see you around on the next one. See you.